What's going on, beautiful people? Oh, Jesus again. What's going on, beautiful people? It's Nathaniel GE. Today I'm bringing you something extremely valuable, one of the best pieces of text I think I've read on the internet. It's called How to Do What You Love by Paul Graham. So the first question is, what do we mean by what you love? So we're going to break that down into work and into fun. So Paul Graham says that since kids, when we were in school, we had this breakdown in our heads of work being the time that adults tell us when to do something, and then fun being when the school bell rings, or when you finish work and you can finally do something. That's where you get this whole TGIF. Oh, thank God it's Friday now. I've got the weekend to do what I want. And you get this whole people waiting until 5, staring at the clock and all this kind of stuff. But Paul Graham challenges us to change the definition of work. His definition of work is to bring an original contribution to the world and not starve in the process, which is an ideal scenario, I think, for all of us. And the definition of what you love is also extremely important. If you ask most people, and if you went up to people and you said, okay, you can do whatever you want right now, just tell me, you can have it right now. Majority of people will probably say, okay, I want to go to Brazil and lie on the beach, or I want to go shopping, or I don't know. What would you say if someone said that to you? That's the goal, right? You go to work so you can do these kind of things. But unproductive pleasures get boring after a while, right? If you went to Brazil, how long would it take you from lying on the beach to get bored of it? Because that's the goal. Yeah, you want to make millions of pounds, and then you can go lie on the beach. You don't have to work. You can do what you want, travel around. But unproductive pleasures are going to get boring. So when you're thinking of what you would like to do, he recommends you should think about something you'd like to do for long periods. For example, a month or a year or even years. So if it was me in that scenario and I went out to Brazil, cool, chill on the beach for a little bit, which I would love, because right now it's just like cold and rainy in London, same as always. But then what would I do next? I'd think, okay, I'm in Brazil, let me get up, bring my camera, let's explore. I'd want to make a documentary, make some cool montages with the music and everything. And yeah, that's what I want to do. I'd want to create something cool, meet people, get their stories, film something. Somebody else, they might get up off the beach, stroll around the favelas in Brazil, and then have an idea. And they're the person that brings to the market a bottle, plastic bottle, that you can just put in your roof. And then I can't remember, they put something inside it, and then basically it gives everybody light inside their houses. I'll put the link because this is a real thing that happened, and I know they must have the idea somewhere, and that's the original contribution they bring to the world. And they're not starving. They're definitely not starving in the process because they're making money from it. So the question there is, once you get past the unproductive pleasures, which you might do for a few days, what then would you like to work on? And then that brings us back to the what you love part of this video. An original contribution you can bring to the world and not starve in the process. So when thinking about what to do, one suggestion Paul Graham gives is to do something you admire. So if you look at the definition of admire, it is something you look at with respect or warm approval, something you look at with pleasure. So he says it should be something that will make you or your friends say wow, which is a cool way to think of it. You want to do something that you can look back on and be like, whoa. Like I've had that moment with maybe a poem that I've written, the Head in the Clouds poem on searoom5.com. Some videos I edited, especially the Sinjar invasion. Like if I watch that after a few months, I'm like, whoa, I made that. That's quite deep. But quality, you know what I mean? It's like something you can be proud of. If you read any company's mission statement, it's going to tell you what their why is. And it's not going to say, our mission is to be millionaires and live in big houses and blah, 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 blah. It's not going to say that. It's going to tell you something that they are passionate about, something that a problem they're trying to solve. Let's take an example. I'm going to quickly look for one. Which company? Let's go for Facebook, yeah? Facebook's mission is to give people the power to share and make the world more open and connected. That's their mission. That's their contribution they want to bring to the world. So the next part we need to think about, we spoke about what work is, what fun is, and what we mean by do what you love. The next part is like the mind shift when you're talking about having spare time. So the aim is to no longer see spare time as the goal, and then your boring work as the pain you have to go through to get to that goal, i.e. TGIF, right? Now I have spare time, now I can live. The rest of the time I'm a robot doing nothing. That's not the aim here, right? I've actually watched a lot of documentaries where you see like the CEOs. I remember I watched one had the CEOs of or the founders of SoundCloud. He was talking about like at the weekends, he had a weekend off at some point when they were like just launching SoundCloud, and I think he went away for like a few hours, and then he came straight back to the office because he realized there was nothing else he wanted to work on. His work was what he was passionate about, is what he loved. He was making music. He was out in the clubs in, I think it was in Sweden or Germany. I think it was, yeah, he was out in the clubs in Germany, and they were starting up this cool thing. And that's the aim of this video. We want to get to that stage where what you're doing, what you're working on, is what you love, is what you're passionate about, and you don't want to stop. You want to keep creating and building, you know. So the concept of spare time will change. It's not TGIF. It's thank God I'm working. Thank God we built this organization.